This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for being here with us on this Sunday. I'm Galen Etland. The time now is 6 o'clock, and this morning on Sunrise, gunfire in a Portland area that is just so popular. We're going to share what we know about this shooting in the Pearl District. Plus, a sheriff's deputy gets hurt on the job because of a drunk driver. What investigators say is different about that crime than any other. But first, our Keely Chalmers joins us live again at home with the forecast. Good morning, Keely. Good to see you.
Hey, good morning, Galen. Yeah, we've got a nice Sunday planned for you. We've got sunshine, a little bit of haze out there this morning in some areas, smoke and haze. And of course, east of the Cascades, it's going to be a hazy day. We'll take you outside right now. This is our Wells Fargo sky cam. We're sitting at 61 degrees. We've got some clouds out there, but we've also got a little bit of sunshine, and that will be the theme for the day. We'll warm up to about 75 degrees by noon. It's going to be sunny and nice here in the metro area. We'll top out right around 85 degrees. We'll be a couple degrees warmer tomorrow as we head into Labor Day. Plenty of sunshine, but again, up in the Cascades, some areas east of the Cascades, and in some areas Salem South, we are going to see some smoke and haze this morning. But again, things clearing out as we head into the week. Galen.
All right, very good to know, Keely. Thank you so much for the update. We'll see you soon. Well, this morning, police are searching for answers in Portland's latest shooting. This time, gunfire erupted in the Pearl District, sending 3 people to the hospital. Now, this was in the middle of the afternoon at a busy restaurant. Our Art Edwards walks us through what happened.
Gunfire shattered the calm of a sunny Saturday afternoon in the Pearl District. Police flooded the area around Northwest 10th Avenue and Northwest Davis Street just before 1:30 in the afternoon. When police got to the scene, they didn't find any victims, but they found evidence of a shooting and a lot of people in the area. Police eventually determined a verbal argument led to a fight between groups of people who knew each other inside of the restaurant. Shots were fired inside, and then people moved outside and more shots were fired. Police have not released the exact number of shots fired. Investigators confirmed that a woman and 2 teenage boys were driven to the hospital and treated for non-life-threatening injuries. According to police, they were part of the confrontation at the restaurant, and no bystanders were hit by gunfire. One man was held as part of the investigation, and this gun was seized by police as evidence. No charges have been filed at this point. Police believe that several people left the scene without talking to investigators. Employees at the nearby Deschutes Brewery say their restaurant was not involved in the shooting, but they heard the gunshots, and they rushed everyone on their patio inside for safety. Gun violence has skyrocketed around the country, including here in Portland. According to statistics from the Portland Police Bureau, officers have responded to more than 700 shootings in 2021 through the month of July. That's more than 300 more than in the same time period a year ago. Injuries connected to those shootings are also way up. Art Edwards, KGW News.
Now, Franklin High School also makes some changes next week because shots were fired after Friday's football game. School leaders do not think anyone was hurt, but they do want to make sure students feel secure this week. They're adding more campus security, creating a space for students to talk about concerns, providing support to students who ask for it, and adding personnel to support staff and administrators. Students who know anything about what happened on Friday are encouraged to talk with a trusted adult or use the Safe Oregon hotline. A Washington County Sheriff's deputy is recovering this morning, hit by a suspected drunk driver. This was early yesterday morning when 2 deputies were investigating a different DUI. The Sheriff's Department says when they were putting the suspect in the back seat of a patrol car, a truck crashed into the back of that car. One deputy was able to get out of the way in time, but the other was thrown about 6 feet. Now, the person being put into the patrol car was not hurt, and the injured deputy went to the hospital, but is now home recovering.
We have seen an uptick in DUIs, lots of crashes, lots of people calling in about suspected impaired drivers, which we always appreciate. DUI is a unique crime in that it is 100% preventable. It's different than any other crime. It's 100% preventable. If someone's using cannabis or using alcohol, don't get behind the wheel. It's 100% preventable. It's an easy fix to the situation.
The Washington County Sheriff's Office says deputies will be out enforcing impaired driving laws this weekend. Police in Central Oregon say they've uncovered an illegal marijuana grow operated by a Mexican cartel and by dozens of kidnapped prisoners. Detectives from Deschutes County got a search warrant for a 30-acre property near Alfalfa. It had 49 greenhouses on it, and inside there were more than 9,000 marijuana plants and an additional 2,800 pounds of it. They also found 2 pistols and an AR-15 style rifle. Police did not say which cartel was growing those plants, but believe they were working to sell the product in the United States. Investigators detained about 23 workers. They do believe those workers were illegally trafficked into the U.S. to work at that operation against their will. All were later released. Well, local doctors say this holiday weekend could be a turning point in the fight against COVID, and it's in our hands. Hospital beds are filling up with sick COVID patients, and some healthcare systems are using mobile morgues to deal with the growing number of deaths. People who need other surgeries are being turned away because there's just not enough room or staff. Doctors with OHSU tell us they're getting transferred patients from across the state, so they've rearranged resources to increase ICU capacity from 80 to 92 beds. And even with that, they are almost full again.
Everything you decide to do on this Labor Day weekend will impact how our health system look in 10 days.
That's Dr. Matthias Merkel with OHSU, and he says there are other healthcare professionals out there asking everyone, regardless of vaccination status, to mask up and stay distanced. Well, this is the weekend college football fans have been waiting for. After a long 22 months, fans were back in person at Autzen Stadium in Eugene to watch the Oregon Ducks take on the Fresno State Bulldogs. But as our Christelle Kumwe tells us, they had to come prepared with proof of vaccination.
It's a big day. It's an exciting day. For the first time since 2019, Duck fans are allowed inside Autzen Stadium, but only if they can show proof of vaccination or a negative COVID test.
You're going to want your ID and your vaccination card or your negative test results. They'll check that first, and then your ticket before you go.
Thousands of Duck fans with masks on hand flocked to Autzen Stadium in Eugene Saturday morning for the big game.
Go Ducks!
Ed and Sharon Rensdale wouldn't have missed it for anything. They came dressed for the occasion.
We've been season ticket holders for 26 years now, and we come through most of the games in the 80s before we bought the season tickets.
These longtime Oregon fans are not fazed by any of the safety measures. In fact, they agree with them.
Because I have health issues, and as much as I love the Ducks, I would hate to have to come here and worry about my health issues.
So this policy, I hope it works out and that there's nobody here spreading any COVIDs. Go get your vaccine and come here in 2 weeks.
Those who couldn't provide proof of vaccination had to show a negative test taken within 3 days of the event. Toby and Chanel opted for that option.
To keep everybody safe and healthy. So I agree with it. We got our test Wednesday, just to meet the 72-hour mark.
I don't mind the testing or the vaccination if that means that we get to be back at the game in the stadium.
The pair came up from California for their very first Duck game experience at Autzen Stadium.
Man, it feels great. It's been a long time, a year and a half without football, and we're just glad to be here, happy to be here. Love seeing the green and yellow, let's go Ducks.
A long-awaited football season for many fans. Christelle Kumwe, KGW News.
Well, last night's Portland Thorns match had to be postponed because of COVID concerns. The National Women's Soccer League made that call, tweeting at least 4 people in the Washington Spirit organization tested positive. The Thorns said they are working with the league to reschedule once health and safety protocols are all covered. All right, well, I grew up with this, so I'm really sad to hear about this one. A popular Portland event for bird watching cannot happen this year because of those rising COVID cases. The Portland Audubon's Swift Watch is canceled. You might know about this. That's when you can see a swarm of little birds circle Chapman Elementary School at dusk, and they all dive into the chimney to roost at the same time. It's really cool to see. But the organization says Chapman Elementary grounds are now closed to visitors. There will not be resources to deal with the parking, crowd management, garbage cleanup, and all the other logistics that really make that event successful. The Audubon also says the event is just too large to ensure social distancing, and it thanked the community for prioritizing safety and skipping the Swifts this year. Well, after a deadly heat wave in June, there's a new effort to save lives. Regent's Blue Cross Blue Shield is donating air conditioning units to people who need them the most. And it's also giving out air purifiers during this wildfire season, pretty important. Officials say it's especially important to get them to people with breathing problems, as it could be life or death.
We often hear the word heat exhaustion or heat stroke, and people don't realize that those are medical emergencies. And that if you don't take action, with those kinds of symptoms, if you don't take action, you can really end up with some really bad outcomes.
All right, this is another really big issue here. A lot of people talking about the trash problem in Portland. A lot of people angry about it, but a Portland cyclist is on a mission to pick it all up. So coming up next, how his proactive approach is sweeping up others along for the ride.